said, it was a bit of a sweaty mess after 2 back-to-back races, 15 laps in a row, 10 on the 600, 5 on the 1000. But yeah, he said it was. He wanted to bring it home in some good point-scoring positions. You can't win them all, and there's a very mature head on some young shoulders for Tyler Donovan as we get ready for the race start.
So you're in championships, and you did that a couple of times last year, and this getting a good start certainly helps the chances as well. It's exactly what he does as he powers away. But I tell you what, I think Clinton Woods made a decent start. He's going to have a look around the inside. He can't quite do it as Tyler leads the way there. Actually, that was Justin Rose, I think, who might have pulled alongside. Clinton there in the third, can't quite pick him up. Unfortunately, we don't have the HDTV as they make their way down into Wilson, so we can see some white leathers out in front. Now will be young Donovan leading the way. Everybody safety down the first couple of corners. They make their way up towards Palmer's for the first time of 5 laps. Green lights are flashing as they tuck in tight, making the most of what they can. And it's Clinton Wood there in second. Who's down in third, actually? Third place is Justin Rose. Justin Rose, first year Yamaha, so it's Kawasaki leading the Suzuki in Yamaha. And he said they're number 1, the reigning champion, Tyler Donovan, who leads away from Clinton Wood. Now let's watch them into the Aussies on this opening lap. Yes. The race previous was very close. This time around, I don't think Clinton's close enough to make the challenge. No, he's certainly not. No, Tyler Donovan will be breathing a sigh of relief on that one. I'll tell you else is looking pretty rapid out there as well. That's Morgan Creasy. I'm not sure who goes in front of Morgan at the moment. Justin Rose on the number 1, 2, 3 team there. So Justin Rose in third place, and Morgan Creasy in 4th position. Oh, I thought Morgan was in 5th. There's somebody else there in 4th, actually, mate. Okay. Yeah, I'm not quite sure who that is. What catch that one on? No, that's alright. We'll wait and see. Start to see who they come into it. Oh yeah, there's somebody in the top coach there, all waiting through, and there's a lot of stuff, and Marcus come running there, so still can't quite see the riders getting up at this early stage. He's got that, one of them is on. Yeah, there's a couple of riders, isn't there? Yeah, there's a fast old place to go off there, unfortunately. Carrying a lot of speed into that Alexander, aren't you? Yeah. Sure do. Right, here we go then. I think I know who's missing. I'll wait for the board to give me confirmation. Maybe they've just had a bit of a wobble. What I do know is that Clinton Wood is leading the way ahead of Matt Red. There's Morgan Cruz. Red flag. Oh no, that's not good. First red flag of the day of Tony Russo. All eyes to the lights. Clutches in, click it into gear. Eyes on the lights. Out they go. And again, good start for number 77, David May. He's forcing his way through to the third at the moment, but Matt Wren, who was right up there in contention on lap number 1 before that flag went out, will be looking to do the same again here in this 4-lap dash. So this will be only 12 miles of racing here for the Thunderbike Ultras and the Extremes. They're already up towards the right-hander of Wilson's, and that looks to be more increasing out. I believe we'll get confirmation very shortly because that highlighted yellow Suzuki just coming under pressure now from Clinton Wood through the left-hander at Palmer's, and that looks to be Clinton Wood who's taking the advantage, but Morgan's going with him, and it is the 63 of Matt Wren up next. David May first of the Extremes ahead of Tony Russo, and there's Phil Hiddles who's up there in contention as well. He's inside the top 5, I believe. I love the description of Morgan despite this highlighted yellow. It's very descriptive basically. Yeah, I'll go with the highlighted yellow. Oh, I tell you what, the highlighted yellow Express is going to have a look at Aussies as well. I think Clinton just closed the door on it, but if Morgan can stay in the tow there, I fancy his chances here, you know. He hasn't stood on the top step of the podium very much this year, and he's really enough to put one over on a man who is, well, basically one of his main championship rivals, really, because Morgan comes into this race, he has been a big year, unfortunately, for Morgan, but he's 4th in the championship. And this the halfway spot. He points behind that red and also Clinton Wood. The highlighter express. There in second place, and closes up on Clinton Wood on the brakes towards Murray, but to close up on the brakes, normally 9 times out of 10 need to lose out on the straight, isn't it, if you're going to work a little bit deep. Well, we'll wait to see if he can pick up a tower. I think you hear me, I might have a bit of a suck me along thing going on, maybe not quite enough to challenge him into riches for the first time there. It is indeed. Matt ran into third place, and I tell you what, it's a solid third place for Matt there. Tony Russo's having a hard time with David May, sorry. Then it's Matt Nichols, Sean Wallace, David Abraham, and Eagling, John Holden, Paul Fagg, Calvin Grimes, Raymond Stagg showing us not coming across the line, unfortunately, a bit, so some problems affecting him there. Great shame. Up we go to Palmer's once again. Oh, look at this, Creasy pushing along. He's only 2 bike lengths behind him. You can smell this one, can't he? He's having to go down the inside there into Agostini's. I wish we could see into that corner there. Does he get round? Oh, side by side. That would have been a bit of an elbow rub. Clinton, you don't want to go rubbing elbows with Clinton. He's a substantial fellow, shall we say. He's got something of the nightclub bouncer about him. I think it's probably be a fair way to describe Clinton. Yeah, I'm glad he can't hear it. That's a good point. No, I think he's a genuinely lovely guy, he really is. He's giving the impression he wouldn't take any nonsense from anybody, that's for sure. Down the straight they go, and this time Morgan's blocked out. What have been Mr. Pure or something coming out? Because all of a sudden he's blocked himself on a so bike lane, it's a great shame. And so he's here under the bridge at the end of the straight there into Brundles and then into Nelson. After forward that ball, he comes to the pass a little bit. Back there to forward to go. What you do is the right He's not lost out much there, despite looking like he was disappearing there. He was around about 0.229 seconds behind last time, 0.269, so he's only lost out by 400ths of a second. In fact, Creasy goes fastest in the second sector by 0.3 of a second, whereas the advantage to Clinton in the first sector was around about 0.4 of a second. So not a lot between you. Stuart May goes past on Tony Russo, and he's looking to take one. David May goes past. Could be David's first victory. I know Sharon will be getting Sharon excited on the pit wall there. I know she's given him a forward of just watching him closely. But the former champion versus the current champion in that particular battle, as Creasy is about 4 or 5 bike lengths behind going into Agostini's. Now he's keeping his powers, right? He's just playing a waiting game. I don't know, that's not really Morgan's style over there. I think it's more a case of there's a gap, I'm punching my way through it, I think.
I think it's something that might be, I mean, having a look at the lap times and records, it was a 1:59.6 for Morgan earlier on today. They're in the 2 minutes at the moment, so both Clinton and Morgan have shown that they've got more pace than what they're doing at the moment.
Well, I do want all the excess skills outside, because I'm getting a couple of early reports, once he goes back there showing a very high pitch, so it's not accurate, it's still a high pitch. Morgan's losing out in the top end there. They're both at 6,000 though, aren't they?
Yes, yeah.
I wonder if it's a gearing thing or something like that, or maybe he's just got better speed off of Williams, I'm not quite sure.
Look on the break, you are the pushing it.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Morgan is definitely straight line. We're going to go around the outside. Let's try and get to the final lap, because we're about to start when we come across the line. Yeah, I doubt that. Here we go, across the line, and it was 0.269, going to go out and get a 0.688. Again, a faster lap there by 4/10 of a second, so he's opening up the gap. But you're right, we do see Morgan seem to gain the twisty bits on the infield here, but then lose out now in the straight. Watch it down out of Wilson's up towards Palmer's then. And yeah, definitely advantage Clinton coming into Palmer's. Just know that Morgan's going to chuck it at the corner hard. Here we come back down the short straight into Agostini's. Oh, Morgan's having a go. He's sure he started closing. He was far too back to pass, but he gained very rapidly. Now he's either going to lose out badly on the exit, which he does right on cue, or come out in the lead.
There's a reason that Morgan's losing out on the straight, and it doesn't mean it's noticed it yet.
Yeah, I just remember that.
Thank you, Holly, for that one.
Yeah, no, thank you very much indeed, Holly. That's why he's losing out. Yes, of course. No, just remember he's racing us, even though I think the bike is possibly eligible for the Ultras. I'm not quite sure. For the Extremes. I don't know why he's racing the Ultras. Delayed for the Extremes. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, so that is why he's losing against your right. That's, I've just remembered that Morgan Racing is only 750 a K. He's got so many bikes, he can't keep up to be there, isn't it? Yeah. That's fine.
I mean, you've seen him race a CD and an R1 and then just car 750.
Yeah, all in the same race. I'm doing like some races. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's right. That's why he's losing out. And to be fair, on a power circuit like this, and not be losing out too badly, he's got more power than the great job. So here he comes then into the chicane. He's giving people as hard a time as he can with the relatively underpowered machine. But get the hurts under his right wing. Here he comes there, 25 points in his bag, which means he closes the gap by 25 points on the scoring horizontal time. But we are literally halfway through the season now, so there is plenty of time for things to go right or wrong. Matt Reed is third place, solid third place. He takes third of the Extreme machine. Tony Russo once again takes the win after a solid ride in the Extremes, but only by 0.3 seconds over David May. Matt Hills is up next, and Sean Morris. Then Eagling will take the fourth place in the Ultras. It should be David Abraham on the Extreme machine up next ahead of John Holden, Paul Fagg, Calvin Grimes, and Raymond Stagg unfortunately retired a bit late a little while ago. So that completes race number. Where are we up to on the program? Race number 14.
Yes, so race number 15, okay?
Yeah, so 5 more races still to go this afternoon.